many people are thinking we're in a bubble still. And we are, and it's called the benchmark stocks, which are going to be disrupted.
How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel, and in this video, we're going to be talking about Tesla stock. We're going to go over what to watch out for Tesla for this upcoming week. We're also going to be hearing from Cathie Wood and what she believes is the biggest risk as we go into 2022. So we're going to be talking about all this important information in this video coming up. As you can see over here, we have Tesla stock that's sitting at $1,067. Last week we're up 16.74%. And as we go into this week, the only thing we need to be watching out for Tesla is Elon Musk's stock sales. He only has 1.5 more million shares left for him to sell, and I believe he's going to be finished selling his shares by this upcoming week, and that is going to be phenomenal for Tesla as we go into 2022. And the other thing we also going to need to be watching out for, of course, is that the overall stock market, and as you can see, the overall stock market is experiencing a Santa Claus rally. The only thing that's going to potentially affect this is a headline with a new variant of COVID. So there are been a lot of cases across the US. So if the stock market decides to react off of that, we might see some slight pullback, but I don't think we're not going to be able to see that. We might finish strong by the end of the year. The Santa Claus rally is going to potentially continue till New Year's Day. So that's going to be the main thing we need to be watching out for Tesla. Just watch out for this headline that could potentially affect Tesla. Now, let's talk about Cathie Wood and what she thinks is the biggest risk when it comes to the stock market and the economy as we go into 2022. Cathie Wood believes that there is bigger risk with deflation, and there are some stocks in the stock market that are in a bubble. Their mainly focus is basically to satisfy the investors, to pay out dividends, and they're not really investing money to innovation, and that could potentially affect them moving forward, and they could potentially get destroyed. So that is what she believes in, but we're going to be watching, detailed breakdown of what she believes is going to be happening in 2022, what's going to be happening in the future. So we're going to be watching this video, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to go over Tesla stock technical analysis, but let's check out this video.
This really started in mid-February, this correction. So this is a very long correction for us. We actually think the bigger risk is deflation by far. I disagree with Barry completely on this, and I look at these rent increases as major tax increases effectively on the lower income earners, and the same thing with gasoline prices. The University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index is lower now than it was at the depths of the coronavirus. Why? Because purchasing power is diminishing here so much. I also think that businesses that have spent the last year and a half scrambling to catch up with consumption, they were way behind, are now overdoing it. And we are in the middle of a major inventory build that is going to unwind next year. So that will be a cyclical deflation. And then innovation itself is inherently deflationary. We're seeing, just to give one example, artificial intelligence training costs dropping 60% per year. Right? And AI is going to permeate every sector, every industry, every company. It's going to become, very competitive. So we think, and that's just symptomatic. There are so many other deflationary forces out there associated with DNA sequencing, robotics, energy storage, blockchain technology. So, and what we're also seeing is the convergence between and among these various innovation platforms, so that one S-curve is going to feed another and another. And so people are saying, well, then why are these stocks going down? The question we used to get is, we're in a bubble, aren't we? I said, we're not in a bubble. And now that our stocks are down, but the averages are up, many people are thinking we're in a bubble still. And we are, and it's called the benchmark stocks, which are going to be disrupted as the traditional world order is disintermediated and in often cases is going to be destroyed by this new world. So you can say I'm talking my book, but those are two massive secular deflationary forces. One is extremely positive. Deflation, learning curves, cost declines, price declines in innovation means we'll get a boom in innovation. The other side of that is there are many companies who, especially since the tech and telecom bust, and then again 08, 09, they've catered to short-term oriented shareholders who are scared. They've been scared ever since 08, 09, and they want their profits now, they want their dividends now. So these companies leveraged up, buy back shares, manufacture earnings, and didn't invest enough in innovation. They're going to face a lot of problems, and they will face the bad kind of deflation. We've been saying for some time that the risk to the economy is more on the side of deflation than inflation. So as COVID created all the destruction that it did, and supply chains really being thrown off, we've been through a period here of inflation, which I think investors are baking into the cake. That's the underlying assumption out there, that we're in an inflationary period and that it was turbocharged by the supply chain disruptions that occurred during the coronavirus. And of course, they will be focused on monetary policy when they say that. I am a student of economic history, and I've lived quite a bit of it myself. So seen a lot of markets, and started in the business during the 70s. I was in college when inflation was raging. So I know what that is. And I truly believe we are not going back there, and that anyone planning for it is probably going to be making some mistakes. So the three sources of deflation that we see, to go into a little more detail, on the innovation side, technologically enabled innovation, we are in a period today like we have never been, never. I mean, you have to go back to telephone, electricity, and automobile to see three major technologically enabled sources of innovation evolving at the same time. Today, we have five platforms: DNA sequencing, robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology, all of which are deflationary, and not just by a little bit either. Jeff Gundlach and Howard Marks, and I think Stan Druckenmiller and Ray Dalio, all of them, I think, have been very, very concerned about a deflationary bust. And we agree with them in this respect. We think it's going to be balanced by a deflationary boom. So that's where we differ. But where we agree is that there are companies who thought the world would never change and have been, again, catering to short-term shareholders who wanted that extra penny or two in earnings, and so got it by having the companies leverage up and take more debt and shrink the number of shares. And they've also been focused on dividends. They are probably saddled with products and services that will become obsolete because of the record-breaking amount of innovation taking place today. And in order to service their debt, they are going to have to cut prices and move those goods and services that are on their way out anyway. So I am concerned about that. And I think there's going to be a lot of confusion around it as well. So that's why we keep our eye on the innovation ball, because that is going to balance these issues out to a great extent. But what it will also mean is that the traditional GDP numbers we're going to be seeing are going to be very low. And so, and growth will seem very scarce. I think it will proliferate over time, and that some of the companies that we own, the stocks we own, they're not in any index out there. So a lot of public market investors aren't exposed to them, but we think there are going to be a lot more of those opportunities going forward.
Before we talk about a detailed breakdown of Tesla stock technical analysis, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, hit the like button if you want free stocks. Check out the links in the description box below. So as you can see right here, we have Tesla stock that closed at $1,067. The main support that we're looking at right now is $1,000. We bounced back up this $900 very well. We haven't looked back yet, even though Elon Musk was selling. The stock is just super bullish. And we also, in a Santa Claus rally, as we talked about, the only headline that could affect all this momentum is there's new COVID cases rising across the US. But if that is not affected, we are going to have this continuation rally to the upside. So where could Tesla stock potentially go as we go into next week? So we know that Elon Musk has around 1.5 million shares left for him to sell, and the stock really is not reacting that much. Even if he sells, the majority of those shares, Tesla is very strong. As you can see, the volume is just coming in aggressively. It's increasing day by day. Even though we're in a holiday season, Tesla stock volume has increased. So it is really good. Now let's talk about the short-term price target for Tesla stock. You might expect if there's a huge continuation of this bullish momentum, we might see Tesla stock trading above $1,100, and we might see Tesla going back to retesting $1,200 next week if we don't get any kind of hiccups when it comes to the stock market, when it comes to all these COVID news that could potentially affect Tesla stock. Now, in case, we get these negative sentiment where the COVID and the stock market reacts negatively, we might slightly see a pullback, but we're holding strong with this $1,000 area right around over here. So we might see some consolidation at right around over here between $1,050 to $1,100 as we go into closing 2021. So that's going to be the short-term price prediction for Tesla stock. Let me know in the comments section below, what do you think is going to happen for Tesla as we finish the year 2021? Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. But I catch you guys on another video. Have a wonderful day.